Welcome, everybody. My name is Will Johnson, UnitedAmericanFirst.com. We are going live on a special Saturday. We have a special guest with us today. Did you hear about London? Did you hear about the balloon that happened? Did you hear about the Trump balloon? Wow, we have a true live hero, a world hero on with me today. We're going to talk about the Trump balloon and all of the stuff that's going on across the world. So without further ado, let's get on with the Trump balloon. Hello, Amy. Hello, Amy. Thank you for joining me.
Hi, Will. Thank you for having me.
So you are in London, right?
I'm actually just south of London.
Just south of London. Okay, so for everyone who's just joining us, please share this. Amy is the world hero. That's what I'm calling her. She's my hero. It's pretty, it's pretty amazing. When I heard about it, I'm like, wow, what an awesome thing you did. I went to an event here in America, and they were proudly flying that monstrosity, the Trump balloon, and they had it up high so no one could get to it here. But it was when I heard that someone actually popped that thing, I was like, wow. So I had to talk to you. So tell us, what led you up to, or what was the day like? Because you heard Trump was coming. Just tell us what took place.
Well, the Monday was the positive day, because that was when he was doing all the royalty, seeing the Queen, going to Buckingham Palace, and so there weren't any official protests arranged. It was Tuesday that this big fake, well, I say fake, but the big arrangement was for this so-called anti-Trump protest. So I went all days to try and see him. I was hoping I'd be able to get a glimpse of the president. And in fact, not only did I not see him, I didn't hear him. I was just too busy trying to find him that I missed everything except, obviously, I heard what was planned for Tuesday. And so on the Monday I went up, and I was outside Buckingham Palace, and had a little encounter with the lamestream media and some a couple of anti-Trump, people. But Tuesday was the sort of the negative day, which is my birthday. But I thought, I'm going to go just see what's going on. And if I see that balloon, if I can get anywhere near that balloon, it's a going. So I went up on Tuesday. And the thing is, Will, is that last year I popped the base of it with a pair of tweezers, but I didn't know it was in two parts. But nobody really heard about that, because I only got the base, so it was just I was like, I didn't realize. I didn't know I was going to see it I didn't know I was going to get to it that close. You just don't know where it's going to be, right? Specifically. And it just so happened that the first time I just happened to come out of the station just outside the Parliament, and there they were all with the balloon, and I thought, oh my God. So because I hated the thing. I've hated it since I first heard about it, and when I first heard about it, I thought it was a joke. I didn't really think anybody would create it.
Would spend the time creating something like that. Let me ask you this: what is the atmosphere there? Because if you listen to the lamestream media here, or the socialist media here, they would like us to believe that everybody in London or everyone in France, Paris, what have you, everyone in the UK, everyone overseas hates this president.
The thing is, Will, is that we are control with the propaganda media is really in control here. We don't actually really have a conservative media. There may be a couple of presenters on different stations who may have a little bit of a leaning to try and be a bit balanced at least, but for the most part it is just CNN, but the British version. I mean, you can hear when President Trump, when he has a press conference and he asks if somebody says they're from BBC, he does the same thing as he does with CNN, and it's fake news. It's really frustrating. And so again, we have the thing here of the sort of silent majority. The conservatives just don't do things.
You know what? I think it's universal, because here in America, the conservatives, they don't do things. I mean, you get conservatives, now you have a few to go out and, and stand up and want to say something. But for the most part, the conservatives work. They believe that, they elect someone to go on the Hill and do the job that they voted them in to do, not knowing that a lot of them end up being, what we call them rhinos here in America, Republican in name only. So a lot of them end up like that. Not all of them, but there are a few. And, but you're right. There's a lot of conservatives here that don't feel like the need to act out or, say something. It's okay. But yeah, so
I had a problem there with my,
It's okay. So let me play the video. I have the video here with you going up to the balloon. So let me play that video, and then we'll come back and get more intel from you. Okay. All right.
What about lighter? No, guys. Okay, listen. I can get arrested for this. For what do you reckon? Give me a one if you want to do it on my birthday. Sorry, I've got. So who would? I'm going.
Oh, such a beautiful sound.
That's a disgrace. It's a national disgrace. The President of the United States is the best president ever.
So what did you think? What did you think when what did you think, or what did they say when you said best president ever? I mean, what were they like?
Well, first they were the sort of typical lefties where they don't actually expect somebody to fight back or do their best. So they were a bit, and I was in enemy territory. It was all friendly fire all over the place, because the pro-Trump supporters were contained on up the road a bit. So they just assumed that everybody was loving the balloon. So when I actually did, they don't expect anybody to do it. So, and because I didn't know how they were going to react, I don't know how they're going to react.
Right.
And they were just shocked. You saw the man come up to me right in my face. He didn't even know what to say. He was like, and he was the one who was he owned it, I suppose. I didn't know who he was. I didn't know what he was going to do, so I just thought, oh, I'm scared. And of course, my finger was bleeding at that point, and I was like, okay. My goal was to get the balloon. Unfortunately, I didn't have a follow up. My escape route plan was just, I didn't know I was going to get the balloon, and if I did, I had no idea where I was going to get it, and I didn't know how they were going to react. So it was just pretty much, I've done, I better go. And of course, try not to look too obvious. I would love the fact that I'm live streaming,
Yeah, you know what? You're a brave woman. You're a brave woman. You're a brave woman. I mean, you know, they have all kind of crazy excuses to call people brave here, but you are a brave woman, because I know that the left, they can be violent, and they can be violent all over the planet. You know, they have been violent all over the planet. So for you to do that, you know, to me, you're a brave woman. And, you know, I never advocate for violence, but you know what? I have to admit, hearing that I mean, it sounded so sweet. I mean, I had to admit it.
I know. You see, the thing is, Will, I mean, they're trying to get me with, they're trying to say it was a dangerous weapon, pointed, you know, a knife. You know, they thought I had a knife, but it was these bloody little scissors, the stupid little scissors, because I knew what they were going to do, and I knew, you know, I didn't want to be accused of, you know, being violent. So I used the most innocuous little pet scissors. They're about literally that big, and they got curved end. So, you know, obviously when I went to do it, I had to open, you know, I say everything had to be done. I said I hadn't planned it out. I hadn't done a practice run or anything. And so I just, you know, opened them. And when I went to hit the balloon, they bounced off. Oh. That's when it must, you know, cut my fingers. So then I just quickly did and I didn't know what, you know, I mean, in my mind, I was going to did the Edward Scissorhands, you know. But when it came to it, you know, I was like, oh, boink, boink. When it bounced off, I was like, no. I've got to get it. So I just lashed at it. And then, of course, then the person yelled in this sort of, which I can't, you know. So I just thought, okay, I'm just going to get done it, go, good. Got it. It's not going up. So off I went. And, of course, the blood was just a ridiculous, annoying, very hard to sort of be. Well,
that's funny. That's funny.
Yeah, so.
You know, I'm telling you, a lot of people here in America, they're calling you a hero. And, you know, I mean, it takes bravery to do it, because, you know, here in America, we have Antifa, BLM, and BAM, and a whole bunch of anti-American hate groups. You know, they're probably, in this case, they're probably like anti-human, you know, because they don't like,
I've seen them.
Yeah, they don't like people across the planet that loves their country. And, you know, that brings me up to something else. I was reading on your Twitter where in your country, where they say, you know, my country. Explain to us the difference, because here, if I say, you know, America is my country, there's nothing bad. Did we lose her? Look like we lost her. Let me see if I can get her back here. Wow. So, and let me see if I can get her back. And I'm going to play this.
Done it, guys.
Oops. All right, here we go. All right, looked like we lost her connection there. Let's see if I can get her to come back. See if I can get her back on the air here.
What about later? Look, guys. Okay, listen. You know, I could get arrested for this. For what do you reckon? Give me a one if you want to do it on my birthday. Sorry, I haven't got.
Are you there?
I am.
Okay.
Sorry, Will. Yeah, I've not heard proper signal since yesterday, since after night. My phone line's gone dead, so I have no internet. I'm sort of pinching the internet from my neighbor. So.
What the fuck you did it? That's a disgrace. It's a national disgrace. The president of the United States is the best president ever. Done it, guys.
A glitch. So my signal's not great.
Let me ask you this: was your signal good before the popping? So it's like they know they're targeting you. There's no conspiracies here. No conspiracies, but.
where's my tinfoil hat?
Yeah,
Where's the
right,
knock on the
right.
door?
But it's just a
Yeah.
what are the
Right.
odds, right? What are the odds? And you pop it, then all of a sudden, I think they, the globalists that's trying to take over the entire world, trying to control the world, they hate the fact that you are in your country showing support for the president in America. You have more. What's the word? You have more respect for the president of the United States than these liberals do here in this country, which is crazy, mind-boggling to me.
No, I actually am American, Will.
Oh, you are?
I'm half English and half American. I'm half Scottish and half American.
I did not know that. Wait, but still, you're okay. You're over there, and you still have more respect.
Well, because I love America. I love America. Well, my father's a retired Navy captain from Annapolis. So my father's service. My uncles were in the service. My cousins in the Coast Guard in America. So patriotism is, when I was in America, I was at American schools. When I was here, I was at English schools, and I was. I don't want to give my
sure.
age away, but
yeah.
I remember pledging allegiance to the flag, and I was all about pro-America. It was patriotism was normal, natural, and so. And I knew with all the stuff that's gone on in the world, with the wars and the communism and the Eastern Europe, I appreciated my freedom and democracy, and I had a sense of history. Maybe because I went to school here and in Spain and in America, I saw different cultures and different things. So it just, freedom just means a lot, and just certain things that people say. That you hear historical figures talk about how precious it is and how many people have sacrificed their lives to give us what we have.
Exactly.
Just has always stayed with me. And so, my heart is in both countries, but absolutely more over there. But,
So explain to me, because I was looking on your Twitter where if you say my country, what is that? What does that ring? What does that sound like to people when you say that over there? My country.
Well, to the libtards, they don't know really what I'm talking about. So what you mean you own it? No, what do you mean my country? Yeah, I don't really know, because it just is such a natural thing for me to say. And
I mean, what's wrong with saying? I mean, it's like, this is my country. I mean, you can say that this is my country. I pay taxes here. I live here. This is my country. This is the country I live in, and this is the country I support. I mean, in your case, you have two countries. I get dual citizenship. So, I mean,
but
yeah, So, I mean, so there's nothing wrong with it. I mean, it's liberals will find anything they can to try to disrupt or try to change the meaning of a word, and to just flip everything.
Well, and the thing is, Will, is that it's only in the West. It's only really the Western Europe and America are the only two places or areas that people are not allowed to feel patriotism or pride in their country.
Wow.
You you go to any other country in the world, and they're proud to be from where they are, and you expect them to be. I think it's perfectly natural to be proud of where you're from. Unless you're in a war-torn country. Sorry. And they try to come here to escape from that. They don't have democracy. Then it's normal to love the country, and you see it all the time. And especially, I was sick of the Olympics, and so. It wouldn't be strange if somebody from France was cheering on German team when they were in a competition. I mean, but what we've had 25, 30 years, probably 25, I don't know, since the 90s really. It was the sort of real time of mind control, of sort of reversing, where the left was really taking over the narrative, but in a subtle way. you know, just slowly chipping away at this whole idea but that's to do with the globalists. That has been, you know, it's all making sense. That's been their master plan, has been to just vanillify the Western countries, to be able to create this so-called one world order, the Bilderberg group,
right?
You know, which,
right.
Funnily enough, it was all a conspiracy for years. You'd hear this and you'd hear that, but nobody would talk about it because, of course, at the time the media were already they knew what was going on, but we weren't supposed to know. That's why it wasn't revealed. And so it's really been the advent of the internet and individual media, you know, reporters like Alex Jones and like I don't know, say that. I mean, I tell you what, I've been banned off Facebook for 3 days because I said I was on his show. They
really?
Banned me. I literally, all I said was his name. I didn't say the show, and Facebook banned me for 3 days.
They actually banned you because really, because I know.
3 days.
Wow. I have yet to talk. You're the first person I actually talked to that, you know, I mean, let me say this. People may have sent me messages, but you're the first person I've actually had a conversation with that they actually banned them on a platform, a socialist platform, because you said the name.
I just said his name. I didn't even say the you know.
You said the name. I mean, it's crazy. They're giving his name power. That's what they're doing. They're giving his name power.
Oh, absolutely. And his name is not exactly unique. You know, I mean, there's probably a lot of guys out there who are a bit upset.
Oh, yeah.
Because, you know, their name's that, Alec. And everybody cutting everybody off. It's like, wait a minute, what's wrong with my name?
Yeah.
Seriously.
It
is easy. And the thing is, I've never been monetized on YouTube. I got past the point of where I needed to be able to get monetized, but because of my content. Oh God, sorry.
It's okay. Look like we lost her again.
Sorry.
It's okay.
Is that me? You? I'm sorry. I'm getting caught. I don't know how to stop calls coming in. That's the problem.
Oh, okay. Here, hold on one second.
Do you need to call me back?
No. So let me just fix it on my end, and we'll should be okay here. Yeah. So I'm just playing the video again because I mean,
okay, good. Yeah,
it's so awesome. It's so awesome.
Oh,
you know,
I'm so glad. It's so funny.
You know, I think
if I'd only known, I would have, you know, worked on it a bit harder, you know, with the camera work and the thing and the script. It's like, oh God, did I say that? I'm going in.
Yeah, you know what? I mean, to be honest with you, it was perfect. I mean, it was perfect. I mean, because it's like there's no script to it. Like you said, there's no practice run, and that sound that just pop. It's just so. I mean, I can't even mimic it. It's so beautiful. How many? So let me ask you this, because the liberal media here in America, they're constantly saying that there were thousands and thousands of anti-Trump supporters there. What was it like versus, and how many Trump, because, you know, they didn't show any Trump supporters there at all. They only kept showing the anti-Trump supporters.
Because that's the narrative. But, and the thing is that unfortunately, there's a lot of people who've been, there's so many people on the Monday that went past. I was in my garb, you know, with my hat, my MAGA hat, which is, by the way, in custody right now. My real MAGA hat with all my buttons on it.
Really?
They've kept my MAGA hat, and they kept the scissors, and my phone. They kept my phone, and but there were people who went past. There were a few of us who were flags and everything, and people were saying, "Oh, I forgot my hat." You know, I wish I had my hat now, because we were making it fun, and but it has been quashed. People don't want to, because there's such a the media have really won the war on this whole propaganda.
Yeah, they've actually got people terrified to say names or to show their patriotism, to show their support for something that goes against the left. If you show your support for anything that goes against this globalist leftist agenda, that you are subject to be attacked. I mean, even on your Twitter, I was looking on your Twitter where you were going on the one we can't name. You know, if you went on there and you said that, hey, I'm going on AJ's show, and then you had people on there attacking you because you're going on there and because of what you did. You know, what's really amazing to me is that these leftists, these globalist leftists, they can be violent as much as they want, and it is okay. It's like the norm. They're all happy about it. But when you do something, and it was completely like a harmless thing, I popped many balloons in my day.
Yeah, me too. Just happened to be a big one.
You just popped the ultimate best balloon ever. I mean, the feeling of it must have been just great.
It was, especially when it bounced off the first time. And I thought, oh my God, I got to get it. You know? And, but no, it is, it's, well, and unfortunately the police have been definitely tainted by, they're definitely on their side. We have been portrayed.
Why do you think that is? Because we've seen that a lot here in America where the police have been tainted. Not all of them. And because for the most part, patriots and people who love their country, they support and openly support the law enforcement. But here, you know, in this case, you have liberals that attack the law enforcement, and then you get some law enforcement that's joining in with these liberals. That part I don't understand. And for it to happen there as well, it confirms the whole craziness.
It's mind control. Unfortunately, they're put into little libtard box here and told that patriotism bad. That we're literally I don't know how and I don't know why, but they've been globalized or whatever it's called. I don't know. They've definitely been mind controlled into this idea that we have three heads and horns, and that the other people are like the defenders of the good. We are evil and they are good. And it seems I've heard the sort of undercover sort of feed from senior policemen referring to people on our side as we'd be violent and they think of, as I say, it's because it's so the opposite. What we do is 100 times worse than what somebody on the other side does. They do feel as though it's flipped. It's flipped. The script has flipped.
Yes.
And that's the police look at us as though we are the worst of the worst, and regardless. And so the whole punch and Nazi thing, you know, when that happened, they really feel like they're fighting evil. And I mean, it's what is it? Cognitive dissonance, or it's almost like a Stockholm syndrome, where they are
they have lost every sense of reality and what reality is. And they feel like they have to go out and attack. And then the liberal media is colluding with all of these leftists to make that happen. Because if they don't have the violence, they don't have the chaos, the left has nothing. They have nothing if they don't have it. Sorry, go ahead.
The thing is, it's just that I know from this particular document called the Barcelona Declaration that was done in 1995. And within that is very specifically, they're addressing the media as needing to be on board with being aware of racism, of Islamophobia. They start mentioning these things then and saying how the media almost they're sort of treating them as though they have to be watchdogs, you know, be the caretakers and make sure that if anybody shows any signs of anything that isn't, I don't know, that isn't good.
I guess if you show signs of love of country, then they need to pay attention to you, right?
And well, and they're obviously the thing is, the whole point is, if you've got the media, you have the narrative, and the globalists had the media, the wealth. They took over the media, like in the States with the CIA and the Washington Times, the New York Times, Washington Post, Washington Post that the CIA got hold of. So they're propagandizing through the media. They've got control. And the thing is that most people, because we have democracy and free speech, everybody's in that naive bubble because, whichever way, because I've never been there. I've never really been naive. Well, maybe I have been a little bit, when I was Disneyland and stuff. When I was young.
Most of us are until we grow up and become adults, and then we realize that liberalism is not the way to go. So let me ask you this: what is it? What is it like? What is the immigration issue like there? Because we have here on our southern border, we have immigration problem, this biggest day, and it's an invasion that's happening. What is it like there?
I tell you, well, it is very disheartening because we've had 15 years of pretty much open borders, thanks to Tony Blair, where they had a number of years to train, to mind control people into this idea of let's say this whole European project that they've had of removing the identity. Instead of countries, they call them states. They don't identify people by nationalities, really. They just call them citizens, European. And so there's just been an erosion of identity over decades, so as to make it so that now if you say something, that's frowned upon. It's verboten. You can't claim possession of your place of abode. And unfortunately, it's because the European Union is in charge. Our country hasn't had control of its borders for almost a couple of decades, and it's very. I just find it very sad that the Britishness is being taken out only because of the numbers. If you've got a lot of people coming in, which I don't blame the people wanting to come here. I mean, I really don't. If I was from Eastern Europe,
same thing here. Yeah, same thing here. We don't blame them. We just want people to come through the front door.
Well, and also we want the people who are in control of that door to sort of limit how many people come in.
Yeah, exactly. So,
you don't mind.
Exactly.
So it's just that it used to be. I don't know. You got to be so careful now with how you phrase things because everybody's so uber sensitive. That's why I call people the snowflakes. It's so funny. I use the phrase snowflake, and people say, "What do you mean a snowflake?" That's it's delicate and melts easily. That's you. You're feeling just.
Or liberal tears. Get your cup out.
Yeah, I call them libtards anyway. I don't even bother calling them liberal. So anyway, so it's the self-censorship is so irritating, and I'm not very good at censoring myself. I mean, I've been sort of trying to speak out about things for a few years now, quietly doing my own thing, doing my little periscopes on. I've kind of got to the point where I couldn't take it anymore. I had to turn my TV off 3 years ago, but I haven't had it on for over 3 years, 3.5 years since the referendum thing, when the propaganda was just coming out every time I was watching it. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. And I thought, oh my God, nobody's going to believe this absolute rubbish that they're saying about literally the Third World War. The sky's going to fall in, the medicines, the food's going to stop. I mean, it was just so ridiculous. But people were actually believing it. I thought, oh my God, no, people are actually believing the rubbish that's coming out of that thing, that box. And I honestly thought when we were given the opportunity of a referendum that everybody would jump. And of course we did, the silent majority. And I'm telling you, those numbers aren't true. The actual numbers of the results. Do you know that they provided pencils? They provide pencils in the booths, to vote with. Pencil? It's like, what a pencil? I mean, you know what you can do with a pencil? Hello. No, we don't. And people were actually doing that. I found out from later on. I mean, a couple of years later, I found out
they were changing the votes.
Yes.
Wow.
Well, I mean, why else would they provide pencil?
That's crazy.
Honestly, it is. I don't know how long it's been going wrong. There was a time when you could rely on elections and trust the vote, but anyway, so the whole thing was
kind of sounds like California.
Yeah, it is pretty much. London is definitely New York.
New York, California. Yeah. I mean,
yeah, that's London.
It's crazy.
And
it's crazy.
So we have patriots here. We have, I say, so it was 17.4 million people voted to leave, and it was to leave. It was leave. Bye. Rip up all the documents, and we'll just do a deal with you. When we'll declare what we want. We'll start, because it's got ridiculous. Will you wouldn't believe. I mean, I never used to believe how when I heard about things happening in the past, I think, well, how could anybody let that happen? Surely they could have stopped that, if it was something major.
Right.
But I tell you now, witnessing this going on before my very eyes, the transformation of the world
for me, we're living in different times. We're living completely in different times, and the stuff that we're seeing here in America, it's not just here in America. It's a global takeover of humanity, and they want to destroy everything that is considered good, and they want to parade, and they want to glorify everything that is considered evil. And then if we speak out against these crazy things, then we're the ones that's being hateful and bigoted. It's like you mentioned a minute ago. It's like everything is upside down. Everything has flipped, and it's a world thing.
It's definitely, it's a Western world.
Yes.
Because honestly, you go outside from the West, so you've got India, you've got China, you've got Japan. They're all still India, China, Japan, and,
right?
And Africa and everything. They're all. It's only the West that's being asked to completely change its foundations.
Why do you think that is? Why does the West have to change and the other ones don't?
Money. It's money. It's the whole. I hate being so transparent with this whole. It's only a conspiracy if it's not true, and actually most of it's turned out to be true. So this whole idea of this greater Europe, greater Germany, it was going to be. I just to say, when I hear myself talking, I think no, that's like conspiracy. No, that sounds too ridiculous. But
yeah, you can't be saying it, but when it's actually happening, it's even crazier.
But and people have been talking. I say the thing is, people have been talking about it forever. Remember, Kennedy mentioned the New World Order, and nobody really knew what that meant. Yeah. I think everybody was thinking of it in an innocent way,
But during that time, everyone was saying it was a conspiracy. It was a conspiracy. It was.
Right.
When I had conversations with people talking about the New World Order, it was always a conspiracy up until Obama. And then I noticed that the liberal media started embracing this New World Order, this global community,
This, well, the who brings out the word conspiracy? It's the people who are doing it.
Yeah,
they
exactly.
Say that word out. Oh, don't be ridiculous. It's not happening.
Exactly.
And you're like, okay, conspiracy, yeah, right. And people don't want to believe it anyway. Because it's not good. People don't really want to believe what's actually happening because it's scary and it's not good. It's never good. So, they've had control, unfortunately, for decades. So they've had this, they really have had a plan. And the Bilderbergs, the Bilderbergs?
Mm-hmm.
The
Rothschilds,
Well, it's the group of people who meet once a year.
Mm-hmm,
they meet once a year in it's not secret anymore. Because of the internet, but
right.
The agenda, well, what they actually say is secret, but you see who goes, and you see the people on the list are leaders or soon to be leaders. So that it really is the plan there's their plan, and the thing is that gives me so much hope is President Trump because he's destroying the master plan.
Yes.
Because he's not part of that.
Yeah,
he's
going against the grain. Yeah. He's going against the grain. He's not complying with the whole socialist, communist, globalist agenda. And then they even have this coup against him to try to remove him. And they've been throwing everything they can at him to remove him because he's not going along with this satanic globalist agenda that they're implementing on everybody on the planet.
I know. And well, again, it's our side. It's our side of the world that's being completely manipulated.
Well, I mean, the Western world, because see, right now, I think the main reason for that is because everyone, pretty much for the most part, to my understanding, They look at America, they look at the Western world on how things should be. But because the way things are, they want to destroy it because it's not the way that they want it. You know, because think about it, America being the greatest country this world has ever known, and the Western world follow, you know, that goes right along with it. They don't like it. And it's because, and I truly believe a lot of it has to do because of Christianity, because Christianity is the number one religion when it comes to the Western world. And it's not the others.
Well, it's what they want, what we have. They want what we have.
And if they can't have it, they're going to destroy it.
Well, and it's, well, the other problem is, it's not, it's the people who want it aren't the problem. It's the ones who have got it, who are in charge, who are the problem. And they're the ones who have got this, sadly, very sinister plan, which is, it's being carried out to the degree that I never thought possible. The last 10 years have been mind-numbingly horrifying. Yeah. And what has absolutely shocked me, Will, has been the complete apathy. This is, I say, the thing is, Will, it's all been planned. The whole thing with the internet, the hundreds of channels, the games, it's all been a distraction. It's don't focus here, look over there, and we'll do what we want here. And so it's all been orchestrated. Yes. And the ones who don't realize it are the sheep. I call them sheeple. Yeah. Because they're just going along, they're just following where they're supposed to go. I didn't realize how many sheeple there were. So I'm like, well, excuse me, no, that's not good. You know, really, it's really not good.
Yeah, and then you know, it's amazing to get sheeple to get violent because you're like, oh, you're telling me something I don't like because I've been told otherwise. So it's really crazy.
The master plan is unfortunately it very nearly came. If we didn't have Brexit, and if we didn't have President Trump, I dread to think where we'd be now. Yeah,
and you know what? They're not going to see that goes right against everything that they call dear and. President Trump, Brexit is all changing. It's just flipping the whole system upside down for them, and they can't stand it.
Well, it's that small. It's the globalists. It's the elites. It's the swamp creatures are all, you know, the water's going down and they're starting to be exposed because somebody's poked a hole in the bottom of the bloody swamp, and that's Donald Trump, who's just putting a drill down through that.
Well, actually, we can say we can confirm today that you actually put a hole in that swamp. We have a real live person that actually put a hole in the swamp. and
they're like, what? What did she do? No. It's a little bit like the Wizard of Oz, you know, with the curtain, and they go, it's like, no. Or throw the water on the witch, you know. Just, I'm melting. Awesome. No, honestly, Will, it was, I mean, I have been doing a few things quietly, but a little bit quietly, some not so quietly, the last couple of years, 2.5 years or something. And I have done a few other things that have not been, nobody knows about, except for my little circle of, you know, my little Periscope people. And so, you know, well, I mean, I punctured the blooming thing last year. Yeah. But because I only got the bottom of it, it didn't make world news because
But now, now it went viral. You've gone viral, and you know what? It's so it is crazy, but you know what? We need.
But it feels good.
I can only imagine. That, you know, it's someone like you actually standing up to tyranny, and that's how I see it. You're standing up to tyranny, and you actually did something about the tyranny that they're trying to push on all of us. And then I'm pretty sure they were like upset with you, like, how dare you do this? You know, not how dare them be completely disrespectful. Can you imagine if someone had a Obama baby balloon and then someone popped it? Let's just say someone white popped it. They would be calling you racist. They would be calling you everything.
They'd be in the Tower. They'd be in the Tower of London right now, in the dungeon. You know. Oh no! They'd be getting wait a minute. Which way? You know, I'm so confused with what's good and what's bad.
Yeah, exactly.
If somebody did, well, God forbid, if somebody managed to get a milkshake on him
Yeah.
Oh, they would have been, well,
yeah, it's
given
such a crazy
5-star
world.
treatment and retired for life. It would have been great news. Of course, with me, it didn't. I don't think it made the news here. What I did, it made it on the internet. I think they talked about it. They didn't want to talk about it busting the balloon.
Yeah, they don't want people to know that someone actually popped the Trump baby balloon, the anti-Trump baby.
What?
So it's crazy. So look, do this. Tell everyone how they can connect with you and how they can support you in your endeavors.
Well, thank you, Will. As I have, because I am a little bit of shadow banned. I mean, it's just little old me.
I can imagine. So a little. I was surprised that you were still on Twitter because you were so brave, being a brave woman. Go ahead.
Listen, somebody wrote and said that when they were searching for me, my name didn't come up. They looked
Really?
put my name in and it wouldn't come up. Yeah, no, I'm really just a regular person, but I'm on the radar. I'm on the radar. A little radar, not a big radar, but a little radar, which is enough to just trip things and just
enough to bring the hot air out of the liberal brain.
Although I am banned from Parliament, the House of Parliament. I got kicked out of the House of Parliament.
Really? They banned you from Parliament? Isn't that the People's Parliament? Yeah. Is that not the People's Parliament? I'm confused.
Take a look at my YouTube channel, actually, because I did record that. My removal from the House of Parliament was very unceremonious, and it's because I called one of the MPs a traitor a few weeks before. This Anna Soubry woman. I said, "You're a traitor, Anna Soubry," and of course the TV. I got it on live TV.
So anyway, you're not supposed to speak to the kings and queens, right? You're not supposed to.
The representatives, you're not supposed to criticize them.
Well, I mean, they like to think of themselves as kings and queens over the people, and we're just pawns, and that's how they act.
You should see what's happened. I mean, honestly, we don't. It's very sinister here, actually. We're all kidding aside. We do not have. We don't have the representatives in government. There's a few. But we don't. The majority are swamp. The judges, the police, they're all on that side. And it is, I mean, if you had any idea, I mean, what I've been going through the last couple of years, you wouldn't have it. You wouldn't believe. But like the way I was treated with this balloon, the arrest, the roughness, the arrest of the 6 hours in the jail cell.
So they were being rough with you in the jail?
No, not in the jail. No,
okay.
Just the when they were arresting me, you don't see that bit with the. I mean, it was just they're not nice to me. Will anyway.
Right. Well, tell everyone how they can connect with you. And I think you have a picture on your Twitter page where your finger got cut, and I'm assuming this was a result of that.
Yeah, there was 3 stitches there. Yeah,
wow.
Those are the 3 stitches. It's my war wound.
I can imagine some people getting queasy right now, like, ooh.
Well, it has got a little bit infected as well, which isn't good. So, it's a little bit of a concern. But
you have to take care of yourself there.
No, listen, so I have little platforms, which is obviously YouTube I have, which is I go by the name Based Amy because of somebody gave me that name, okay? It just means grounded and straight talking. So I tend to speak my mind, Will. And so... the website was created, and that's where I sort of try. So everyone can go to stuff.
So everyone can go to the website and connect with you on all the social media platforms that you're on.
Yeah, well, the Twitter one is at real based Amy, because somebody had Based Amy already.
Okay.
When I went to try and get, so I had to put real based Amy, but I'm on. So the Twitter's at real based Amy. My website is basedamy.com. YouTube is Based Amy, Periscope's Based Amy. I think on Telegram Based Amy. I think you can guess what my name is on the. I try to keep it simple. Will,
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, and I'm following you here on Twitter. I don't know if you can see that.
Thank you.
Yeah, I started following you here on Twitter. I mean, so I'm gonna try to keep up with everything that you're doing, and if in the future. I would love to bring you back on and talk about different things that's going on the other side of the pond.
Well, I have got court cases covered up, so you will. It should be interesting to see. Yeah, say there's been a few things that you won't believe. Well, you think it's crazy. It is crazy. It's really, really whack a day over here with
Yeah, I
the
bet.
legal system. So, I appreciate all the incredible messages have just been, well, overwhelming. I mean, really, I can't believe the remarks people make, and I love the memes. It's so funny. The meme of Amy Poppins. It's like, oh my god,
That's beautiful, Amy
Amy
Poppins. I love it. And that sound that is so beautiful. It's like music to the ears.
Somebody said it was a pop heard around the world.
Yeah, it was. It's a pop heard all the way around the world. That is beautiful.
That was amazing. When I read that, I thought, oh my God, yeah, that was just, it was quite powerful, when they said that. So anyway, if anybody, I've got on my channels a support, if anybody wants to support, because I do have my website, and it does cost me to do my stuff. I like to bring the real news, Will. I like to sort of show what's happening, because our media is, well, it's the same. It's almost worse than the American media, where you just don't hear the news. You don't see what's happening. So I've been sort of quite active in showing things of injustice and trying to show people what's going on in London. I do a bit of, I suppose, activism, Will, is what it's called. So if, you can find all my contact details on my website. And I really do appreciate the amazing messages of support and gratitude. And I just want to say, I'm what can I say?
Yeah, you know what?
Welcome.
Thank you for being a brave woman in this crazy world. I want to say thank you. I want to thank you from all of us on the other side of the pond. We really appreciate you being a strong woman and standing up for what is right.
Thank you, Will. I appreciate that. I really do. You're most welcome, and thank you for having me on.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we have to do it again, most definitely. All right.
We will do it again.
Yeah, absolutely.
Take care.
All right, take care.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye. All right, so I want to say thank you to everyone for sharing this beautiful message from Amy. She is the young lady that went out and did what we all wanted to do and popped that crazy, despicable Trump baby balloon. She did it. So this is a special Saturday. I normally don't go live on Saturdays, but I had to today because I want to take the opportunity to talk to her. What a wonderful lady. God bless you. God bless our president, Donald J. Trump. And God bless the world. All right. Take care.